Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another session with PRATHAM Test Prep. This is your host Sushila Chaudhary, and today we will be discussing about the introduction of Uniform Civil Code in Uttarakhand Assembly today. So, the mountainous state of Uttarakhand stands at a pivotal juncture at this moment, poised to potentially become the first Indian state to implement a UCC, that is the Uniform Civil Code, since independence. The proposed legislation, which aims to replace religion based personal laws with a common set of rules for all citizens, has generated immense interest, sparking lively discussions and diverse opinions. So, on February 4, 2024, the expert committee tasked with the drafting of UCC for Uttarakhand submitted its final report to Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami. This 750-page document, written entirely in Hindi, proposes a uniform framework for matters like marriage, divorce, inheritance, adoption, and it is applicable to all individuals irrespective of their faith. So, the Uttarakhand government has approved the draft Uniform Civil Code bill, which proposes these changes. The UCC bill includes recommendations such as complete ban on polygamy and child marriage, equal property rights for sons and daughters, elimination of distinction between the legitimate and illegitimate children, equal property rights after death, and inclusion of adopted and biological children. The provisions of the UCC bill do not apply to tribal communities. The bill also aims to regulate live-in relationships and prohibits bigamy. Once approved by the government, this will become a law. The UCC implementation in Uttarakhand was part of BJP's manifesto for the 2022 Uttarakhand Assembly elections. So, like we have noted, the key provisions of this UCC is that there will be a complete ban on polygamy and child marriage, equal property rights for sons and daughters. There will be an elimination for the distinction between legitimate and illegitimate children, equal property rights after death, inclusion of adopted and biological children, regulation of live-in relationship, prohibition of bigamy. Now, these provisions aim to establish uniform civil laws for all citizens irrespective of their religion affiliation, governing personal matters such as marriage, divorce, adoption, inheritance, and succession. Now, talking about UCC in particular, the idea of Uniform Civil Code in India can be traced back to colonial times, when the British government submitted a report in 1835 emphasizing the need for uniformity in codification of Indian law, excluding personal laws of Hindus and Muslims. Then later on in 1941, the colonial government formed the B.N. Rao Committee to codify Hindu law, and the Hindu Law Committee recommended a codified Hindu law based on scriptures that would provide equal rights to women. Now, the committee's recommendation led to the adoption of Hindu Succession Act in 1956. The act amended and codified laws related to intestate succession among Hindus, Buddhists, Jains, and Sikhs. All these four religions are considered Hindus under Hindu Succession Act. Now, Hindu Succession Act was a part of a series of acts that reformed Hindu personal laws, including Hindu Marriage Act, Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act, and all of these were enacted between 1955 and 1956. The Hindu Succession Act granted women greater powers and right in the property and ownership as well. Now, the UCC, even in this matter, where we are talking about UCC in Uttarakhand, more or less what we can see that it is a dual kind of UCC that has been introduced. So basically, there is uniformity in religion as well as there is uniformity across genders also. And now, so UCC has had a long time coming. B.R. Ambedkar, who was the first law minister of India, also believed that the Uniform Civil Code was desirable, and in its implementation, all he had to say regarding the implementation was that it should be postponed until a more suitable time comes. Currently, if we talk about UCC, presence of UCC in India, India's personal laws differ across religions, including Hindu, Muslims, Christians and others. The exception here is Goa, where all religions follow a common law regarding marriages, divorce, and adoption. Now, this particular code that is the present there. This is a Portuguese code, so that is why the implementation of UCC in Uttarakhand is so important, because this is UCC post independence, first state in India which is proposing UCC post independence. The code present in Goa, which governs the UCC, that is Portuguese code, which existed pre-independence as well. Now, talking about constitutional provisions regarding UCC, Article 44 of our Constitution calls for UCC, and it is amongst the directive principle of state policy. While directive principles are not enforceable in court, but Article 44 places a great duty on the state compared to other principles. Now, let's talk about important judgments regarding UCC. So, Supreme Court's various judgments in 1985 in particular has shown that Indian judiciary has been an important instrument for putting an impact on the question of uniform civil code. Now, first of all, we'll talk about this case, Mohammad Ahmad Khan versus Shah Banu Begum. Now, this case was brought before the Indian Supreme Court for the first time in the year 1985. The court instructed the parliament to draw a uniform civil code in connection with the case. Shah Banu's case was about obtaining maintenance money from her husband after she had triple talaq in accordance with the section 125 of CRPC. Now, talking about concept of maintenance after marriage, after divorce in Muslim marriages, so there is a set amount that is set prior to the marriage, which is called meher or dower, which is given to a woman as a maintenance after divorce generally. And in this particular case, the dower or the meher was not adequate enough. So that's why the court gave Shah Banu a right to maintenance under section 125 of Code of Criminal Procedure, and the court observed that a common civil code will help the cause of national integration by helping different loyalties to the conflicting ideologies. Now, the next case that we're going to talk about is Sarla Mudgal versus Union of India. Now, this case raised the issue of bigamy and disagreement over marriage-related issues within the current personal laws. And this case is another significant case that gained attention, because when more than 80% of the citizens have been placed under personal laws that is codified, there is no justification so to keep whatever in the absence, even more introduction of uniform civil code for all citizens on the territory of India. Now, in this particular case, what happened? The case was filed against a man who had gotten married to second time while having a valid first marriage. He had gotten married second time by changing his religion, as according to certain religions, bigamy is permissible. So, in this particular case, the Supreme Court held that no, that the second marriage will not be given the validity. Now, talking about the next case, John Vallamattam versus Union of India. Now, in this case, the court held that court saw that it is regrettable that Article 44 of the Constitution has not entered into force. The above provision, so that is the Article 44, is based on the premise that there is no necessary link between religion and the law of person in a civilized society. A common civil code will help the cause of national integration by removing contradictions based on ideologies. So, the John Vallamattam case has, in this case, the court has had the opinion that there is a distinction between religion and the law, a law that guides a person in a civilized society. So, after this, if after the UCC has been approved, UCC in Uttarakhand particularly has been approved by the governor, it will become a law, and that will make Uttarakhand the first state in India to have introduced uniform civil code in this way. Thank you so much for watching. This was all from our side today. I hope you liked the video. If you liked the video, please like, comment and share with your friends and kindly subscribe for more such content. Thank you.